My name's Kimmel. I've been born and raised mostly in Calgary, Alberta. That's where I live now, where I call home. And I guess I'm a permaculture designer now. It's been a couple of years in the making, but I can finally say I'm making it happen. So I'm a permaculture designer and an urban farmer and a social entrepreneur and someone who's really involved in my community. It wasn't actually first permaculture that kind of got me on this different tangent of things. I grew up as an entrepreneur. I think I always had a really deep value of freedom, and so that was why I gravitated towards being an entrepreneur. Was I wanted to find a way to live my life the way I wanted to, I guess. And so I started off, I went into university, I was followed my friends into business school. After about a year and a half, wasn't really jiving with what the business school, the way they were teaching me, and I felt like I was being put through more of a system to put me into a line of certain work or something like that I didn't really want to go down. That was when I dropped out of university and first started my own business. So got a couple of good friends together and we wanted to do good things, so we started a sort of environmentally conscious clothing company with a really positive and inclusive social message. And that went strong for a number of years until I started to again feel like I hadn't quite found it. So at the time I was actually working for a musician as his manager, and we were doing a tour around BC, and he ended up telling me about yurts. And the idea that I could make a house that I could live in and be comfortable for $5,000 or $10,000 or $15,000 was absolutely shocking to me, because I had a condo at a time and was already in a mortgage that was way outside of my capacity and actually underwater because of what happened in 2008 with housing. So I knew this yurt concept and self-sufficiency was something to take a look at, and from an entrepreneurial perspective as well as just from finding fulfillment in my own life. And from there it was further on this travel, and actually in this place where we are right here in the beautiful Slocan Valley in Winlaw, that I first stumbled onto permaculture. Completely reformatting the way I saw the world and understanding for once where food came from, because I was totally from the boxed food generation. As soon as I took my first design course out here, I knew that I wanted to be a designer and I wanted to create beautiful spaces that felt like paradise. And I saw examples of it here, where I'm sitting in this forest underneath a walnut tree and with a 100-year-old apple tree behind me, pear trees and plum trees and all kinds of fruit. I mean, the vision of paradise for me was really tangible and real. So really gaining a new perspective for that out here, I set out on a journey and was basically going to stop at nothing to be able to make a life in this and learn the skills that I knew I needed to learn to better take care of myself and have a better relationship with the planet and other people as well. After I took Rob's course, well, actually after I heard about Rob and sort of chased him down, and I did. I took a course from him in Nelson, I took courses from him in Lethbridge, I took the design course in Calgary, and it was him and his encouragement, because I was up front with it. I said, Rob, I want to do this, I want to make a living at this. And so he, because I communicated that with him and I was the squeaky wheel in the class, he was invaluable in me starting, well really from having like no landscaping experience, no gardening experience, no farming experience, to 3 years be able to fast track enough knowledge that I was able to make a legit career out of it. Wouldn't have happened without Rob Avis, period, and wouldn't have happened without Verge. So yeah, they're an invaluable piece in that process. I was planning on moving out here. I was going to live out here, and then if something kept calling me back to the city, this idea that I could do good work in the city and create a bigger change there initially than I could, say, living off-grid in a homestead here. So yeah, we started off Leaf Ninjas as a leaf raking company where it was me and my good buddy, and we would just go out and do cash jobs basically, and we built it from there and started taking on landscaping clients and started working for a landscaper, worked for Rob for some time, and did everything I could to get experience in the industry till now we design and build and help people maintain edible landscapes that are designed based on permaculture principles. And we've started a small urban farm in our home communities of Ramsey and Inglewood. We found out about spin farming last winter in January from a guy, Curtis Stone in BC, who was having good success with it there. So we went out and studied with him and learned about the model of organic agricultural production that he was applying in cities, using all borrowed land and just owning his own tools and equipment. So I was really attracted to the model, and I feel like with the changing face of food that we're looking at today, and when so many people learning about the problems of agriculture and how they're affecting our planet and how on a large scale the system is unsustainable, the model of spin, being able to produce a lot of food in a small area really efficiently, I knew that it was going to be a good idea to pursue. So we bought the rototiller, we built a walk-in cooler, we took about 1/8 of an acre this year and turned it from lawn into garden, which took an immense amount of effort and time. And probably the thing that I'm the most grateful for in the project is the people that I work with. Because it's never really been just me. I've always been working with this collaborative crew of people from my youth, guys that I've been brothers with since junior high, and it's this small community and business relationship that we've created, this brotherhood that is running strong and makes us able to do what we're doing now, which it's the key piece. I'm so grateful for it. Yeah, the whole concept of Leaf Ninjas came from my experiences here, my first couple days of farm work, where I went out and I had 110% motivation and 30 or 40% of the physical ability to make it happen. So I injured myself out here trying to dig trenches and going too hard. I got sunstroke a couple times, and it was this realization that I could take my experience from my past in martial arts, when I studied for 4 or 5 years, and reapply that in a new context into the farm work and into the work that it was going to take to develop the kind of life that I wanted. And that was where the Leaf Ninjas synergy came, was that all of a sudden I was working in a way that was building my body and I was feeling better about it and I wasn't hurting myself. But Inglewood and Ramsey have really been key for us living there, because the community of people that are already established there and the community association, our local political scene is really supportive of what we're doing. And I've heard a number of people in the community say they want to see us stay. They want to see the ninjas and the farm and food production and permaculture and all this stay and grow in their community. Working with some other local businesses to help start a farmer's market in Inglewood has, well, it's just been amazing. I mean, it's a whole different feeling of community that I didn't know as I grew up. It's totally new territory, and it's incredible the amount of meaningful connections that are formed and how we're starting to work together as a community. I feel really at home in Calgary, and I'm really excited about continuing to make a difference in Calgary and see the city transform into being a happier and more natural place for people to live and enjoy their lives and eat quality food that they know where it comes from and how it's grown. We have a lot of plans. Some of them are, well, more public, and some are more ninja in nature. The future for Leaf Ninjas entails learning more about the process of growing food in cities and helping other people do that. We all love forests and rivers and lakes, and so we won't be just tied down in the city at the same time. So we are looking to develop some more rural places and plant some big forest gardens. I hope to see Leaf Ninjas play a role in building a new food system for people based on sustainable methods of urban production and long-term methods of perennial polycultures and forest gardens, ponds, holistic management of animals, and that whole picture of anything, just moving more towards food systems that behave like ecosystems. and putting humans as a piece in the system instead of like the end game. I mean, putting us in the piece of a circular food system rather than a linear production, consumption, waste model, which isn't really real anyway. It's just a big fallacy. I hope that we can show through our lifestyles and through the things that we discover in this newly really enjoyable life with better food and more fun things to do and more meaning in my life, that other people can find that too. And other young people, other people who are wondering, well, should I go to school or should I get a job in the trades? It's like, no, maybe we should learn how to take care of ourselves in a way that is in a relationship with the planet and strive for paradise.